Your world's greatest podcast and potentially the world's greatest podcast.
Welcome back to the world's greatest podcast. It's myself and Darren here, arguably the world's greatest podcast hosts. Back to chat again about surfing, and a lot of good stuff's been happening. So we're ready to dive straight in. But firstly, how are you, Daz?
Tiop, this is our opinion, TOO, for the world's greatest podcast. And definitely, I agree with you, world's greatest podcast and potentially the world's greatest podcasters. But we'll get that. I'm all right, Matty. I've got a quick, these are the days of our surfing lives, which I've introduced to the podcast. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle down here with a couple of months of rain. And we had a magic day forecast last Monday, which just turned into a bit too much period pumping for 1 hour. Then a hell day preview for Thursday, which I set my alarm, woke up at 5, waited for the sun to come up and was on shore and not good. So I went back to sleep. And then the next couple of days after it was just a bit of a struggle. And then just so happens last night, I left work after an 11-hour day, get home, and I'm like, there's no wind. Look on the webcam, and it looked half decent, but I was already eating my dinner. So I thought, oh, well, I'm going to go for it in the morning. And there was a party across the road in our park for the 18-year-olds of the village, cutting loose all night, so I didn't sleep. I woke up this morning thinking, fuck, how do you do it? How do you actually do it? You know what I mean? How do you set it up so you can have a surf? And I had to work, get down there, and it's kind of cooking. 2 hour surf, it was cooking.
Right.
Hell surf. You just kind of, like, these are the days of your lives with surfing. Like, it's like you got a hell forecast for your home spot.
Yeah.
It's never. You wouldn't bet your house on it, would you?
No, definitely not. It's like it seems like even when it's on your own your front yard, it's still like you're chasing it, and it's never like perfect time. It's always still feeling like a rush or never quite perfect as well.
Is this the magic of our sport? And is that a stupid question?
No such thing as a stupid question. 100% the magic of it is it's always it's why surfing is surfing and not, and it's why wave pools are not surfing, because one of the like more than 50% of surfing is actually before you even getting your wetty and finding the waves and looking at the forecasts and getting all excited and then getting let down and stuff. Like, it's why we all are kept on the hook and get reeled back in every time, mate.
It's a journey, man. I've been in this game for 40 years doing that, and
Yeah,
it's still new. And I had this meltdown the other day thinking, because this young kid from, I think he's south of Wollongong, which is South Sydney, and he's over here doing the European travel, and he's looking for work. And I said, "Where you from?" And he said, "Dad, we're talking." I said, "What's it like in your village?" They don't call them village; they're a town. And he said, "Everyone got moved out because the crew from Sydney and Melbourne bought all the beachfront property and Airbnb it. No one
yeah,
lives there." And I was just sitting there thinking, "Yeah, that's what happened here. That's what's happening here. This is the end of us. We're all getting melted, but we're going to survive. We're like cockroaches, surfers, I tell you."
100%. Absolutely. It's interesting as well about what you're saying about how the stories of their lives and stuff. There's a new part to that story of the behind the scenes of someone, because I saw a clip where France looked like right where you are, looked amazing. There was a clip where it was Sam Pitter, Leo, Mark Lacomere, and there were some hell waves. But
I was out there with them. I was
yeah,
out there with them. I was out in front of my work. But I got there a bit late because I waited and took my son to school, and you kind of had to be out there a bit earlier. I
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, knowing your region is like if you turn up when it's pumping, you're already half hour too late. Like
Put
there's one
Mark Lacamar and Leo and Sam Pitter out at nearly anywhere, and it's still going to be
exactly.
pumping, and it was pumping.
Yeah,
But
they got
it,
some
it
hell
was, it
weight.
was, it was pumping. It was the stiffest rip you'll ever see.
Yeah, I don't miss that. I don't miss that from down there.
So
Hey,
that's going to take me. Ooh, you or me?
oh, you go, you go.
It's going to take me right into what I want to talk about because I was reading an online surf magazine. I won't mention their names, and it was to do with what I wanted to talk about. The O'Neill, what do they call it?
Maps to nowhere.
Maps to Nowhere. That's the best thing I've seen all year. Someone was saying the dudes, and I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want anyone to research it. They will if they want to. That it wasn't an unknown spot. The guy was saying it's been surfed before, yeah, 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 or could have been. I don't know. And then again, once again, I was feeling disillusioned because I don't want to know where it is. Honestly, I don't want to know where it is.
No.
Good, but how insane was that? Like, is that not like
Yeah,
that's the pinnacle of the sport for me?
I think 100%, and I think it was so sick. Like, so obviously there's 3 episodes out, and they're all good. Like, and Soli Bailey's in it, every one of them, and I actually, he's slowly growing to be like he's
He
phenomenally
is
good.
so good
And
in the tube. He's good on the face, but
yeah,
in quite
and
master.
yeah, and but we're talking. I guess we're talking with specifics to the one with Caity Simmers and Timo Simmers, which is mind blowing. Like the wave that I think they're faced with that wave for 2 days, where it's pretty much just breaking on their ankles on the sand, and like everyone should watch it because it's mental. But they were pretty much about to leave, and that guy they have a guy who finds these
Matt
remote
Rhodes.
waves and stuff. His name's Matt. He's pretty cool, and he was like, "Nah, trust me." And then they just wake up the next morning, and it's just like I showed a few people like Katie's barrel, and people were like, "Where's that snapper?" Where like people were
I
like,
thought it was I thought it was Superbank at first.
"Yeah, so did I." And then I watched the thing, and I was like, "Well, they're not going to do a maps to nowhere at snapper. That doesn't make any sense." And then it was just like the display of surfing is absolutely ridiculous, and the wave is mental. I think everyone should go and watch it. It's one of the best things. Do you know what it made me think though? It made me think like, is this the new version of the search? Like
Of
River
course it
Cup
is. It's not. It's yeah, like they've
or like
just
a
they've just repackaged it.
yeah. But it's
They've
quite
re
cool because like they've kind of done it really subtly, and now it's being noticed without being shouted about too much. Um, but yeah, props to O'Neill and to them because that it is like in my opinion it's sick. It's like one of the best things I've watched in a long time. Um,
I think one of the things I like about this is uh I would say their star of the series is Soli Bailey, who was a WQS Australian junior like phenom,
yeah,
which there kind of is an Australian junior phenom every year.
yeah,
There's like a few every year, so it's kind of hard for them to keep up with it. And through their big axing of pro service and stuff, somehow Solly, I think he was with someone else, I can't remember now, he picked up or was picked up by O'Neill
mm,
and they persevered with him. He won Pipe Masters, which I think is impossible to do unless you're an incredible barrel rider. And I remember at the time, Dog Marsh came in looking for some boards for him, and he said, "This kid's really good." And now you kind of see, like he got that wave at Cloud Break,
yeah,
which is one of the best waves ever. I think within 2 weeks after that, he got a wave at Shipsterns,
yeah,
and the waves he gets in this thing, like there's that one he gets where he's just walking up on the sand. And at the time, I didn't really watch it. I think I was falling asleep. But when I went back and watched it the second time, because I've watched this thing twice now, that thing, like you can now, when I watched it the second time, you can see why he was flabbergasted.
Yeah,
Like, because he was gone.
he
Like,
was losing it.
he wasn't even doing anything. He was just like holding on for the ride.
Yeah, it reminded me of someone when you watch someone like skateboard and they start getting the speed wobbles when they're hill bombing because his board is just like like little jinks and stuff. And geez, the end section as well when he kind of like almost like doggy doors it and then the whole lip just explodes. Like you can tell it's moving real quick and it's pretty heavy and very, very shallow.
And is it's Tino or Timo?
Timo.
Timo. So he's kind of like a similar modern day version of Nathan Florence, which kind of seems like he's just been, he's piggybacking along for the ride with Caity,
Yeah,
who's we'll get to her. And but he is good.
yeah, he's real good.
He's good.
He is really
And
good.
if you're a sponsor, like if you're O'Neill and these two seem to just get on really well. I like, I've lost a brother, and when I see siblings being able to go on a surf trip together and stuff, it just touches your heart. I just think it's incredible. And if that's making Caity happy and putting her in a happy space, wow, it's money well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. And she says in it as well. I think she says like he's the only person she's really like actually competitive with, like as well. But she enjoys that because it gets her like it pushes her and pushes him. And but so I completely agree. And moving on to Caity, wowee, like it within the last couple of weeks, we obviously saw Aaron Brooks get barreled at Snapper and then obviously earlier this year we saw like Pipe and everything. But she is very, very good at riding in the barrel.
She's good. The spun bottom turn she does, where the chandelier of the lip must miss her head by, and I watched it a couple of times to see if it was like on purpose or calculated or luck. I still can't really work it out, but it was just incredible, like how she got under it and then was able to obviously then switch back onto the outside rail and like
Right,
fly
yeah.
with that wave. But it was ridiculous. And the other thing I thought was incredible was when she was coming out of her tubes, she was doing those Caity cutbacks, which
Yeah,
they're just like Rob Machado is just incredibly well timed.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can't buy that, you can't train that, you can't like there's no use her going into the gym like 5 times a week doing squats or anything like that because she doesn't need it.
no,
Like,
no,
I guess you'll have to do some sort of training like that as well if you want to win or if you get injured or whatever. But at the moment, like
but
remember,
how,
I thought she was a bit young a couple of years ago, which maybe she was.
yeah, but how refreshing as well was it that she basically said like doing that is way more compelling to her than competing.
I
Like,
think I think I think nearly, let's say anyone except maybe Kelly Slater get a 3 day stint like that.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
just because that could be. I I hope not for them, but like all good. Like we don't get that, but that could be the pinnacle of their surfing
Yeah, I mean,
life. Maybe.
nobody out and those waves for sure. Like, there's, even being on tour, she's not like the WSL aren't giving her those waves at the moment. So,
No.
but
And I don't think they could score that. I thought about that briefly. Would that have been better with a comp? I don't. I don't. It could have been super cool as a comp, but the best surfer won't necessarily win because it's the best wave that wins.
well, do you know what's funny about that is I was actually thinking about that and I thought to myself, if you had perfect waves, like absolutely perfect, like but pretty
Would you
much
have to come in after 30 minutes? You
just
wouldn't come in.
barrels though. But like if you've got like perfect waves like they've got, where there wasn't really much space to be doing turns on those waves, so it's just a barrel fest. Could you even determine a winner? Like
Nah.
because Katie's wave is as good as Soli's wave. Like I couldn't pick which one was better or not. Like, and if you had to then do that 16 times over X amount of heats in those waves, like if anything, the WSL needs a little bit of like waves to be shitty to be able to like break people
Can you
up.
imagine the furor of judging with that?
Yeah, I would just go 9 on everyone and just keep them exactly the same.
10, 10, 10 plus.
Yeah, we're
8.
talking about tens and 10 pluses, moving seamlessly into the swell that just hit chopes.
Oh, okay. Just before we do that, like just to give context to the world of competitive surfing, is it even worth mentioning Manly? And no, it wasn't Manly,
Oh,
Narrabeen.
Narrabeen, North Narrabeen.
Or do we just forget it?
I think it was a perfect example of like it's too close to snapper. Everyone was still on like a snapper hype, and then they tried to do a legends heat, but with like not legends,
I didn't even see that.
and then I mean there were legends, but like it was Laura Enever instead of Steph, and it was like Nathan Hedge instead of Kelly and stuff. Like just fell a little bit flat, and like it's just not as good a wave, is it? So um, sick result for some people, but yeah, we'll just move on.
Well, just move on. So, did you
So
see Leo's clip on his 2 hour session at at pretty good Chopu by himself
on his own,
on his
how
own?
weird must that have been?
Especially with all those people there. I kind of can't really put it into context what was happening because it was the weather. Maybe the morning was really good as well, so people were surfed out.
I
Maybe it was
think
the
he got a little
day
bit.
after.
He got there a little bit later than a few people as
Hmm.
well, didn't he? Because
Yeah, well, he come in and had a coffee with me across the road, rang me like this was after the morning session where you saw the video.
yeah,
And he rang me and he said, "Are you open?" I said, "Not really, but come over." Like he was only across the road and he likes a latte. And then he was going surfing. And me and Terry from the surf shop had a bit of a chat to him. And I said, "What do you think?" And he was like, "I was going to go out early, but there was, he didn't want to get there too early and kind of not burn himself out. But I don't know. I guess you better to come in like with fire in your belly."
yeah.
And
Plus, like
that
there's
must mean that
risks. Yeah,
I said to him, just take it easy, bro. Wait till it happens. I mean, I've seen him grow up and unfortunately have some hectic injuries. So, like, he's got there and just like scored. He probably doesn't have to have another session before the comp now. Like, he's
no,
warm. He's warm. He's on fire.
yeah. And do you know what? I'm gonna go there and say, well, yeah, I'm gonna go in with a negative, and then we'll pick up more on positives. But Felipe is there with
Real
Jalchenko. Yeah, Felipe's there with Jalchenko, and
board handler. Board
I've seen
handler.
clips of
Caddy.
Chris Moore, Liam O'Brien, Leo, Jalchenko, Griffin Colapinto, Crosby Colapinto, Hannon Carr, who's a 16-year-old. Seen clips
Yes.
of him. I've not seen one photo clip, edit, mention of Felipe.
We said we weren't going to mention his name this year. He's retired. He's on a year.
But
He's on a year off.
Liam O'Brien
Did you
is an
see that one?
absolute hell man.
Salute. We salute you, lobby.
Lob is the absolute lord. Um, yeah, like I saw Lobby's clip, which was unbelievable. Griffin gets some mental ones, even if he's done something stupid with his hair. Um, and then there was a local, well, Cardi Vast is just, he makes it look too
He's
easy.
gifted. He's gifted, this kid.
Oh, he is,
Hey, back to Liam. Liam lobby.
yeah.
Is it? is it any surprise that poor old Sophie broke her back? Because she charges too, right? So she, after the comp went, broke her back at the box.
Mm.
Like, you can't tell me that what he does doesn't psych her up.
Yeah, I mean, I think so for sure. I think like
She
absolutely
must be
probably
scared, like, if he's done it, I want to have a go. Oh, maybe shouldn't have done that.
yeah, like would she have gone out there on her own without him, or like would she have even thought about it without like maybe him saying about it? I don't know. Maybe she would have. Maybe I mean, she does charge and stuff. Um, she's on one of those O'Neill maps to nowhere and surf's really good in it as well. The first one I think she's in, but
Yeah, she's a good tube ride too. Okay, then what about Molly Picklum's wave? Did you see
wow,
that? Sick, huh?
the
How
bar.
cool, cool can surfing be? The bar's been set.
She's lifting that bar. She's just, it's like if you want something, I feel like she just like is manifesting this type of situation and getting it because she swings and she swings hard and
So now where the women have come to the party, huh? They're at the
yeah,
party. They're at the party, and they're there first this year at the party. Um, Previous years, when you're looking at a forecast like that, and you're saying, okay, there's a few 4 to 6 foot days. It looks like there's a couple of 8 to 10 foot days. Maybe it's hard to know with Surfline. It's really hard
yeah,
to know. Where before they would have let the women try to put them, not even try. There would have been pressure for them to surf when it was smaller, and maybe not when it was bigger. This time, if it's a big finals day, they'll run the women as well, won't they?
hopefully. And
Well,
also
we'll see.
what I would love to see, I don't think they would ever do this, but I would love it if they ran overlapping heats, but one like men's and women's. So like
I'm not feeling that. I
oh,
don't know.
because I would love if the men had like because like imagine like because like say for example Kelly's got a wild card out there and like so they get to spend the lineup like and they can see where Kelly's sitting and like what they would learn from just being in the lineup with him and John and stuff.
I'm hearing you. I'm smoking what you're rolling.
I would just like I mean and also how sick would it be if Molly gets a wave like that and he who not been mentioned was in the same was actually in the water at the same time and didn't paddle or
Well,
but
he's not going to be in the water, is he?
he's not
Is
going to be this year. Wait, but anyway,
I can't think of anyone on the men's tour this year that's not a contender. Even though there's some good surfers there, there's some really good. So I really hope this all comes together because I think this is one of the most important things in competitive surfing and one of the most exciting things for us who are competitive surfing fans is a comp like Chopu Pipe or J Bay where there's a lit up forecast and you just can't wait for it to start.
yeah.
Can't wait to see heats. I think Chopu's nearly, no, let's say it correctly. Diapu is nearly the best one if it's on.
If it's on, it's real on. I'd say that I completely agree with that because I think the most times I've rewatched heats, the 2014 Kelly John Heat, and then the same year John Medina,
Is that
and
2014?
the
Imagine that's 10 years ago
yeah,
already.
and I watch that back like all the time. Catching you off guard to pick two people from men and women who you reckon will be up there winners. Like,
Jack and John, Molly, and Vahini. That was hard.
I mean, yeah, you've gone favourites. I'll go. I reckon John's going to win it.
You
He's just
asked me.
John's going to win it. He's just had his kid, and I think he's going to win it. I think he'll beat Cully Vast in the final, and Vahine will win it, beating Molly.
Katie Could go really good. Didn't she have a sick clip out there
Yeah,
with Sierra Kerr? No, that was Sierra Kerr
yeah,
and Molly.
yes, yeah. The other one who's really
Where
good at
did Katie get the hell one then? Was that Fiji or was it Chopu?
I can't remember Katie going left.
No, no, she's got somewhere. She's got some sick bit
Really?
going left. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's in her little video. That was what was it called?
Yeah, toasted.
Toasted.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it later on and verify whether I'm on
Um,
crack on.
the other one on the lady side who I think is really really good at it is Caroline. She swings.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm unsold on that. And I used to think Tyler was a good crack at stuff like this because she's a good barrel rider and charges and rides backhand
back
barrel
yeah, she
good.
does.
But
Yeah.
I just think Katie and Molly are the
I
next.
do think Vahine's like got a read on that joint. She's like close to Moana Jones Wong kind of level.
And I'm kind of glad for her well-being that Erin Brooks isn't in it.
A little bit, even though she's mental at
I,
like
oh,
she
that's what
she
I
came
mean.
up
I
yeah.
think she'd probably be having nearly the biggest dig.
Yeah. I would love actually to see Moana Jones out at Chopes.
Yeah, did she not run it? Someone who won the trials? Mia Harmer Bray. Did they
Yeah, I
do
saw
trials for
yeah.
women
I
or
haven't
was it
I
straight
don't
wild
think it was
card?
didn't think it was finished, but yeah. I don't know if they have a women's trial list, which is weird. Don't know if it's just a wild card, which I know Vahine's in it. So
Okay, underdog.
I mean, is Carly Vast an underdog?
Yes.
Then him.
Okay, I'm calling lobby.
Yeah.
I've got a
Can back
feeling
that.
Leo might have a good dig out there too.
Yeah, Leo's just always a solid like pick.
But if you could put your hand up, like Connor O'Leary,
Yeah. Swings.
Ryan Callahan,
Yeah.
that middle-aged journeyman from Goofy Footer from Brazil. What's his name? The dude who's friends with Neymar.
Yeah. Shit, you know, we haven't even mentioned Gabby. I think he's the best out there.
I think he's probably the favourite, honestly. I think we're saying John or John
I
Jack and
forgot
whatever.
about Gabby.
It's just because we're not Brazilian.
How stupid is it to forget about Gabby? I've
Yeah, he
been
could be.
saying
He could be on an untouchable run because he's a bit angry at the world
he
at the moment,
could
isn't he?
he could get there might be some very, very good betting odds on him because of his ranking.
And so we've discussed this often at surf shop, coffee shop with me, Terry's brother Stefan, and Arno. They're me Estonia Beach coffee shop mates, and the general consensus is for the Olympics that it's John, Jack, Cowley, and Medina.
Yeah,
Cowley's not in this comp, by the way, is he? I don't think
Calivas.
he is. Yeah, Mia Harmer Bray won the trials.
Oh well, then yeah. I thought, oh yeah, because Kelly's got the wild card, hasn't he?
How's Kelly gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, this is one event where you don't mind Kelly getting a wild card. He's like he will win heats.
You think?
Yeah, he like
But
if
he's
there's
got a
any
bad seed. He's got a low seed, so he could come up straight
yeah,
against
he's
John
going to
in
come up
first
against
seed.
who's world number one?
He's
Griff.
not coming up against Medina, who's got a low seed as well.
Yeah, Griffin.
Griff's pretty good out there.
Who's number two in the world? Jack Robbo. So Griffin or Jack Robbo is going to have Kelly, and then the other one's going to have Matt Hydrole round one. Like,
No, you sure it's Mateo Drolle? Thought it was me, Hame Brave. Said
oh,
his
sorry,
name
yeah,
four
Mia Harmer Bray.
times,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, just got mixed up.
which is absolutely not the same kettle of fishes because he won in pretty average chopes at the trials. I watched
He
it a little
did.
bit on YouTube.
He did, but he's very good in big chokes.
Yeah. But he's not Matahi Drolle.
No, but he's still like a tricky wild card out there.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think he's got a candle on the top five. as opposed to if it was 10 foot, I would back Matahi.
But who would you back if so? If I work it out correctly, I think Kelly is going to have Jack Robbo round one with someone else.
That's just a reckless heat between them two because
It could actually be Kelly,
it's
Jack,
like the,
and Medina.
it's
Because
like the it's excluded king against the new crowned prince,
yeah, I don't know if there's a heat
but he's
draw.
included. He got knocked out and then did straight away the first Challenger Series, and now he's straight away in the next CT.
Yeah, but like this is one he should always be in. He should always be in this, and he should always be in pipe.
Well, we'll soon see. What if he
Um,
doesn't get through a heat? That would shock me.
that would yeah, set me too. I'm just going to see if they've got a heat draw for the opening round. They have.
I would
Oh, Dazza, listen to this.
hit
Jack
us, hit us.
Jack Robbo, Kelly Slater, Ramsey.
Ooh, I'm going with Jack. Let's go heat by heat then. Now that
Right.
we're into it, it's a Chopu episode, folks. It's pretty hard for it not to be. We've got
We've
eight
got
minutes to quickly go through
yeah.
this, Matty. We're not going to talk all night, but this is
So
sickness.
so even you and Seth Manise, Conor O'Leary, I'm backing Conor O'Leary.
Conor O'Leary.
Then John Rio, Yago Dora.
Seth's pretty good. Seth's pretty good, but Conor O'Leary.
Then John Rio, Wider, and Yago Dora. That's John.
John.
Then I just said so Jack
Even though
Robbo.
Jago's good too. Sorry for laughing,
Yago
Jago.
is
He's
real good.
incredible.
Yeah.
He's incredible. We're talking about the greatest ever surfer in big tubes.
Yeah. Then Jack Robbo, Kelly Ramsey is heat free. Take your
Going
pick.
Jack. I'm going Jack.
Then Griffin, Italo, and then Miyahama Bray. So I mean
It's a lot.
Italo's
It's
pretty
a
good,
lot. It's a lot.
but Griff's good as well. And then Geordie Smith, Crosby Colapinto, Matt McGilvery. Geordie's very good.
I'm going to go with Matty McGilvray in that.
But then yeah, and I've also seen Crosby getting hell ones this week. Um this is probably the easiest heat on paper. Jake Marshall, Emo Kalani DeVault, and then Medina.
Medina by a country mile.
How crazy is it that he's the lowest seed in that heat?
Even though Eamon Kalana is pretty good, but still.
Yeah, Gabby's. I mean, I think Gabby's record. I don't think he's got anything worse than a semi-final in like 8 years. This is the best heat in my opinion so far. Barra Mamiya, Liam O'Brien, Ryan Callanan.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
hard to
unpickable.
pick. I'm not going to pick that one.
And then the next heat is a pretty level
I'm going to
heat
go
again.
Arkell.
I'm
Pull
going to
it
go
out of the
Barron,
bag.
but
Yeah, Baron. Jeez, he's good.
and then Cole Houshman, Kanoa Igarashi, Leo Friavanti.
Leo. Even
I'm
though I
backing,
think now that we saw, I'm thinking Baron's the underdog pick for the comp.
but that's the male. That's just first round, and that's what happens when it's after the cut. Is like I think there's one easy heat in there. I think Medina's probably got the easiest heat.
So you were on it. What about while you're looking at the woman pulling up the women's? I'm just looking at the forecast. I'm going to tell you starts on the 22nd, which is 4 to 5 foot chopes with good wind. They might run the women's first round on that. The Thursday it drops a little bit. The Friday it's still 4 foot. Then the Saturday, I think that'll go. It's a pity. It's another 6 days away, which is hard. 1.5 to 2 meters with 2.4 to 3 meters at night with good winds all day. And then next Sunday looks like the same. And
So
then
it's
there's a
cooking.
couple of days of mid-level. And then the Tuesday, 28th, and then the 29th is the
They only
Wednesday.
need they only
The
need like
Wednesday's 3 to 4.5 meters. That's a fair bit out yet.
they don't need a lot of. I think they need like 3 days or after the cut. It's like 3 or 4 days max.
It could be
So
a bit of a classic Chopu weight there, but it looks like there's
Mm.
There's two swells. There's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a big swell on. I hope it doesn't just all negate to,
Yeah.
but how can it?
Yeah. And with the women, there's some hell first round heats as well. Um, Brisa Hennessy, Gabby Bryant, Tatiana.
Tatiana, I saw her get a barrel in somewhere.
Yeah, I think she likes going that way. Heat two is a hell heat. Caity Simmers, Tyler Wright, Vahine Fierro.
Vahini, and a tight one because I reckon Caity could get her.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Depending on what sort of conditions they run it in.
And
If it's under 6 foot, I'll go Caity, and no, I won't. I think it's Vahini.
and then listen to this because I completely forgot about this person. Real dark horse. Joanne Fay, Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, Carissa Moore.
Yeah, Carissa. Betty
Carissa got
Lou's better front side tube riding, even though she got that hell barrel, that pipe you saw, that's kind of like a little bit newer to her. I think she'll charge.
Joanne's real good going left.
Yeah, but she's not a tube rider. Carissa's tube rider.
Carissa got a good one the other day as well. She's been out there a little time. So
I think Betty Lou is going to sit deeper than him and try and put a bit of
mm,
youth hell woman authority on it, like
yeah.
brain games.
And then last one, Molly Picklum, Caroline Marks, Sawyer Lindblad.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good heat. Two goofy footers against a hell woman.
yeah.
I'm going Molly.
I'm going Molly and Caroline to go through. But yeah. Sick. Buzzing for Chopes. I hope it pumps. It's been pretty good here. So been surfing quite a bit. Been on my ASIMs, been on my albums, been on a couple of skin dogs, been on rocking simple
How
wetsuits.
can how can you surf that much to be able to surf that many boards?
Well, I've got three and like I got three boards and like that I've got on like rotation at the moment. So
Quick shout back out to Patagonia suit, which is the Ulix that you said. Anyway, whatever it is, that's a good suit. Super
yeah,
comfortable on the skin. Like I got a quickie marathon sessions, which is just underneath their high line, right? Which feels a bit tight and constrictive, but it isn't. Like it's the right size. And it's a 4.3 and the 3.533 Patagonia. I just feel like I'm paddling a lot faster in. And
yeah,
now we're about to switch down to 3.2s. And I had this Highline 543 hood, right? Quicksilver, this winter. Best suit you've ever felt. Easy to take off. You know how
yeah,
hard that is. Getting your thick rubber down over your shoulders like it. And this was the best suit ever. And within 1 month, the knees weren't on my knees, the knee pads. They were
that's
around on the
good.
side of my knees because some metaphorical problem with, I used the wrong word there, and I've rubbed through them. That one can go in the bin. Imagine you spent
Mm.
€450, €500 on that.
Yeah, that's a bit
Sorry,
hellish.
Quickie, but come on with your knee pads.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never had that with them before.
I got to be fair. I got given a an O'Neill Hyper Freak from Viv. Thanks, Viv. And it's been pretty sick. Like I never really liked them because I like fleece lining. But I've been wearing it and it's super flexible, real good to paddling, and really warm without the fleece. Like the Techno Butter is super good. It's a 4.3 with a hood, so I've kind of like retired it now already because the water here is like I've ditched the hood
There's
and
some
been
good
on the
suits
suit.
out there, aren't there?
But yeah, there's some good suits. There's some good suits, and I would just say like and there's some bad ones as well. Like
Ah,
had a
if you're
couple of
getting a
bad
shit suit at the
experiences.
moment, don't go back to that suit ever.
I've had a bad experience with some Ripco suits, so that's why they're not getting bigged up. But we're on a good suit hype, so good
We're
waves, good
gonna
suits,
we're
and
gonna
we're
try and get this
ready.
episode out quick this week, Matt, and then we've got a couple of guests hopefully coming. Long live
That's it.
Chopu.
Pressure on the air. He's giving me live pressure there, so I'll get it done.
All right. Good
Right.
night. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Au
Bonsoir.
revoir.